My name is Darcus Beese. I work for Island Records. I'm president of Island Records and I come from an A&R background. What gets me excited about music still, and after 25 years, and you'd think that it would be a bit of Groundhog Day, but the artist, the song, the lyric will always kind of wakes you up out of your lethargy, and that's what you end up. That's when you realise that's what I come to work for. Is moments when you kind of when someone plays you something, you hear a song, first line, first verse of a song, yeah, moments like that. But I mean, I wish that I was growing up now, because but when I was growing up, and there was a record that you wanted. First, you had to save. You had to have your pocket money to go and buy it. Then you had to go up the road and go to Woolworths and buy your 7-inch, or you hear it on the radio and you had to wait for it to come out. And times are different now. Young people don't have to wait for anything. They've got it at their fingertips, and the way they consume music is rather ferocious, and yeah, we're in changing times, and it's exciting. You can be scared and worried about it, but or you can be excited, and I'm excited. I do think it's quite positive. I don't like it when it smells of someone trying to crowbar a brand and an artist together. I don't mind when like-minded brands come together, and a brand that has a lightness of touch or a message, or speaking to the right demographic of people. I have no issues with that, and we have a broad range of artists at Island, from Mumford and Sons to Tayo Cruz to Jessie J to Florence and the Machine. So in terms of the broad spectrum of brands that my roster can align themselves with is good, and I know it's part and parcel of the way things are. It's just that you don't want brand over substance. That's the most important thing for me. For me, there was that moment when Duffy rode her racer bike around the supermarket holding a can of Coke, and that was, for me, that was when that just smelled of what it looked like, and afterwards it felt like the wheels came off. So for me, that was a moment when something was crystallized, where something that was musically really good, and then you just cheapened it by going with the brand is not a bad brand in isolation, but when you put it together with something else and it doesn't happen, it's like when you put two magnets together and they repel each other. So that was one that I will always kind of use as a marker for what not to do. Yeah, I think the John Lewis ads, I mean, they are, right song, right voice, and I'm getting some upside at the moment because Lily Allen's singing a Keen song, and Keen's one of our artists, and I've got one of their greatest. We've got a greatest hits package coming out, so that's where all the dots join. It's definitely not a live gig. Definitely not a live gig. For me, what I come to work to do is different from what I go home and listen to, for the most part. And there are some times when what you do at work, you can take home with you on a Sunday lazy afternoon. So, if I'm, I can go home and listen to, Amy's albums. That was, probably the Weekend records, the Weekend trilogy albums. That's a perfect listening.